I stepped into the conference room at Thompson Ranch Enterprises, my boots echoing softly on the polished wooden floor that smelled faintly of cedar and leather. The air was thick with the scent of fresh coffee and the faint hint of mesquite smoke from the barbecue pit outside, reminders that even in this corporate setup, we were deep in the heart of West Texas. For 3 years, I'd poured my soul into this place. My husband's family business. Late nights crunching numbers on feed supplies. Skipping our anniversary trips to handle cattle auctions. Missing family rodeos because some shipment went awry. All for this moment. I thought it was my big break. My husband, Jake, sat at the far end of the long oak table, his Stetson hat resting beside him like always. He shot me a warm, encouraging grin, but there was that flicker of uncertainty in his eyes, the kind that said he loved me but wouldn't rock the boat. Hank, my father-in-law and the CEO, stood at the head, his weathered face breaking into a broad smile under his salt and pepper mustache. He looked like a proud rancher who'd just won the county fair. For a heartbeat, I felt a surge of hope. Maybe this was it. Maybe he'd finally recognize all I'd done to turn this struggling ranch operation into a thriving agribusiness. I sat down, smoothing my jeans and placing my tablet in front of me, back straight as a fence post. "Mornin', folks," Hank boomed, his Texas drawl filling the room like a summer thunderstorm. "Thanks for comin'. This is a big day for Thompson Ranch." Nods rippled around the table. A couple of the managers glanced my way with knowing smiles, or so I assumed. Hank went on. "As y'all know, we've been looking for the right fit for Senior VP of Operations. Someone with grit, vision, and a deep tie to our roots." My pulse quickened. I held my breath, eyes locked on him. He pulled a folded paper from his denim shirt pocket. After a heap of thinking, "I'm thrilled to announce our new Senior VP, Lily Hayes." The words hit like a dust storm. Lily, Hank's niece, who'd breezed in just 6 weeks ago fresh out of some fancy business school back east. The room went quiet for a split second before polite applause kicked in. I didn't join. My hands stayed frozen in my lap. I stared at Hank, waiting for the punchline. The "just kiddin', Emma, you're the real MVP." But nothing. Then I looked at Lily. She stood up from the corner, beaming in her crisp white blouse and turquoise jewelry, her long brunette hair catching the sunlight streaming through the windows. She waved like she'd just been named rodeo queen. My stomach twisted. I glanced at Jake. He wasn't clapping either, his jaw was slack, eyes wide with shock. But he stayed silent, like always. Hank cleared his throat. "I know it might catch some of y'all off guard, but Lily brings fresh ideas and that family bloodline we need to push into the future. Innovative, young, and tied to our legacy." Nails digging into my palms. I forced a smile, it felt like pulling teeth. I stood, and the room hushed. Hank raised an eyebrow, half puzzled, half irritated. I turned to Lily. "Congratulations," I said evenly. "Really?" Then I grabbed my tablet, pivoted on my heel, and walked out. The hallway, lined with old photos of cattle drives and oil rigs, felt endless. As the elevator dinged, even our ranch office had one for the upper floors, I caught my reflection. I didn't look shattered, but inside, I was crumbling. Not just over the job, but because after all the sweat and sacrifice, they didn't value me. They didn't even notice. It all started 3 years back. Hank had just returned from a big AG conference in Dallas, and the company was teetering like a fence in a high wind. Crop yields were down, supply chains tangled, loyal buyers drifting away to bigger outfits. He called me up. "Emma, I know you're settled at that consulting gig, But we could use your smarts here. Back then, I was an operations specialist at a firm in Austin. Steady pay, work-life balance, respect from the team. But Hank was family now, since I'd married Jake. And Jake nudged gently. It'd be great.
Eminência.
Building something together, close to home. So I jumped in. Quit my job. Took a pay cut. Joined Thompson Ranch without fanfare. Trust. That's what it was built on, or so I thought. From day one, I dug in. Their suppliers were gouging us. Logistics were stuck in the Stone Age. Staff untrained on modern software. I overhauled the whole system in weeks. New inventory tracking. Training sessions under the big oak tree out back. When a storm knocked out our irrigation tech, I was up till dawn fixing it with the IT guy. You're the backbone of this operation, Hank would say, slapping my shoulder like I was one of the boys. I believed it. Skipped my best friend's baby shower for a client audit. Told myself it was worth it. Boundaries blurred, calls during Sunday barbecues. Emails while watching Jake rope calves. He noticed, saying, "You're burning daylight on both ends, darlin'." But he never pushed hard. After all, it was family. Sacrifice was the unwritten rule in these parts. By year one, I'd turned things around. Buyers came back. Profits climbed like oil prices. Hank gave me a holiday bonus and a hearty, "You've saved our hides more times than I can count." No title bump, though just more hats to wear. Year two, I asked point blank about leadership roles. "You're doing stellar,
Emma.
Let's not rush the herd." I nodded, patient as a longhorn. Year three, I led meetings, negotiated with feed giants, handled international exports to Mexico. New hires thought I was already VP. "You running the show?" they'd ask.
Y de Shukla.
Just pitching in, but I waited for that official nod. Reviews came and went. "Keep it up, you're solid gold." That pattern wore me thin. Endless input. Zero real recognition. Then Lily showed up. Hank's memo said fresh face in ops. She rolled in late, that first Monday, in designer jeans and boots that looked too shiny for ranch work, ice latte in hand, phone glued to her ear. "Hey, I'm Lily," she said with a grin. "Supposed to be someplace important?" I greeted her warmly.
I'm Emma.
Head of operations. "Welcome aboard." She shook my hand limply, eyes darting.
Cool.
"Where's Uncle Hank?" Red flag number one. No one mentioned she was family. Hank brushed it off later. "She's my brother's girl. Just got her MBA. Thought we'd give her a shot at the family biz."
Estate Pro.
Showed her the ropes, logistics software, client lists. She yawned through half of it. Mispronounced supplier names in meetings. Hank chuckled. "She's learnin'. Take her under your wing, Emma."
So I did.
Fixed her schedules. Covered her slip-ups. Resent emails. No thanks from her. But weirdly, she got invites to exec huddles I never saw. Added to strategy chats I'd been locked out of for years. I asked Hank, "Lily's in high-level stuff already?" He shrugged. "Family. Needs the big picture." I pressed gently. "She bein' groomed? Don't fret titles.
Emma.
You're rock solid." Solid. It stung like barbed wire. Jake reassured. "Temporary. You've got this locked, but signs mounted." Lily got an assistant, mine. Basically. Stopped asking questions. Strutted like she owned the pastures. Staff started bypassing me for her. I wasn't overlooked. I was fading. One crisp Thursday morning, I pulled up to the ranch office in my pickup, the West Texas sun glinting off the metal silos in the distance. The air hummed with the lowing of cattle from the nearby pens, a sound that used to ground me.
But today,
Something felt off kilter, like a storm brewing over the plains. The lobby was hushed, no usual mornin' from the front desk gal. No nods from the hands heading to the fields. I headed to my office, heart picking up pace. My nameplate was gone. In its place, Lily Hayes, Senior VP, Operations. I froze, staring at the shiny brass like it was a rattlesnake. Then I spotted the cardboard box by the door, taped shut but haphazardly. Kneeling, I peeled it open. Inside, my framed photo of Jake and me at the state fair. My favorite mug with the faded Longhorn logo. The succulent I'd nursed through 2 droughts. Packed neatly, like someone aimed for courtesy but hit cowardice. Peeking in, there was Lily in my chair, boots up on the desk, scrolling her phone. She glanced up, casual as a cat in the sun.
oh. Hey, Emma.
Didn't they loop you in? I didn't bite. The walls still held my touches, the calendar with shipment notes. The corkboard quote, "Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard." She hadn't bothered changing a thing. "HR's supposed to reach out," she added, not looking up. "Uncle Hank mentioned restructuring. You'll get reassigned or something. Thanks for showing me the ropes."
Though.
For real. I nearly snorted. Thanks. She'd shown up not knowing a bale from a barrel. Couldn't tell logistics from livestock 2 weeks in. I gave her one last look, then turned away. The hallway stretched like a lonely highway. Eyes followed me, coworkers, admins, but silence reigned. Past Hank's office, door shut tight. No face-to-face from him. In the elevator, I set the box down. Hands steady.
No tears.
No rage, just a crystal-clear calm. I'd given this place my all. Ideas that boosted yields. Systems that streamlined exports. Loyalty that patched every leak. Made it efficient. Profitable. Human.
Now.
Boxed out like yesterday's feed. No warning. No chat, just erasure. In my truck, I sat staring at the dashboard. Engine off. That evening at home, our cozy ranch house with its wraparound porch, I whipped up Jake's favorite, brisket with all the fixins. He sensed my quiet but didn't pry. Gentle as ever. After dinner, I kissed his cheek and headed to the den. Opened my laptop. Drafted a resignation.
No venom.
Just facts, contributions, oversights, and my decision to move on. Professional. Per Texas labor laws, at-will employment meant I could walk.
No strines.
Saved it. Emailed a copy to myself. Then leaned back. A real smile creeping in. They'd shove me out quiet-like. But I'd make my exit heard. Next morning, I rose with the sun. Ironed my best button-down, the one from my first day. Hair in a ponytail. A touch of makeup. Not for show, for closure. Letter printed. Folded in my bag. Pulled up to the office feeling detached, like watching a movie I'd outgrown. Walked in tall. Whispers trailed me. Hank was in the glass-walled conference room with Lily, Jake, and the leads. Lily mid-chuckle. Comfy in the head seat. I pushed the door open. Head swiveled. Hank forced a grin. "Emma, wasn't expecting you today. Just dropping by." Lily smirked, tapping a boot. I placed the envelope before Hank. "This is for you." Voice steady as a rifle sight. He opened it, eyes scanning. Before he finished, I addressed the room. "Best to Lily and y'all." Jake bolted up.
Ink.
"What's this?" Hank's face flushed beet red. Resignin? You're serious? I met his gaze. Dead serious. You're our best hand, he hollered, waving the paper. You've kept this ranch runnin'. I know. His voice cracked. This cause of Lily? She stiffened. Nope. About respect, or lack thereof.
Jake looked gut-punched.
Glancing between us like a calf in crossfire. Hank slammed the table. Ridiculous. Your family.
Exactly.
And if this is family treatment, I'm done expectin' better. No shouts from me, just truth.
Plain as day.
Turned to Jake. Gave a soft smile. Then walked out, not looking back. Shoulders lighter with each step. Past the desk, the receptionist nodded respectfully. Elevator doors closed. I exhaled peace. 3 years silent now.
I despoquem volumes.
Fallout hit like a flash flood. By week's end, murmurs turned to outright talk. I hadn't broadcast my exit, but my empty office said plenty. 2 managers quit within days, folks I'd trained, backed through tough seasons. They packed up.
No fanfare. Client ha alarm. L'última buller si de bua pullet contracts.
One emailed Hank, not stickin' without Emma handlin' ops. Jake shared that over quiet coffee, treading lightly. Proud of me, maybe, but torn. Hank raged.
Per Jake, storming goals.
Grilling staff. But truth was stark. I'd been the glue. Loyalty wasn't to him, it was to the fair systems I'd built. Trust I'd earned. Lily? Over her head. Shipments botched. A supplier bailed on miscommunications. Files lost in the shuffle. She texted Jake for my templates, the ones I'd crafted from scratch. I ignored it. Job offers flooded in. Competitors. AG startups. I savored them. Deliberate. Then the dream gig, a top sustainable ranch op in California. Senior exec with autonomy.
Bonus?
Team. They knew my rep, no proving needed. Accepted on the spot. First week there, folks greeted me warmly. CEO shook my hand at the door. Introduced as Emma Thompson.
Period.
Not Jake's wife, or Hank's kin. Felt right. One afternoon, mid-contract review, Jake texted, "Dad wants to talk." I pondered, then powered off. They'd ignore me inside. Too late now. Thompson Ranch unraveled without effort from me. My quiet exit echoed louder than thunder. Mornings eased. No frantic calls. No side eyes from Lily.
No midnight spreadshots.
Sipped coffee on my new porch. Watching Pacific waves. Wait. No. I was still in Texas then. But the peace was real. Work challenged, but balanced.
Then,
the envelope arrived via courier.
Thompson logo.
Inside, docs, memos, a mediation request from Hank. He was pursuing action against Lily, not a full suit, but arbitration per company bylaws. Mismanaged funds. Unauthorized perks.
Ashadi bando I de flaggia.
Hank claimed ignorance, but now sought resolution. And get this, he wanted me as witness. The irony buckled me. The man who'd sidelined me now needed my word to save face. Jake called that night. Didn't know she was skimmin'. Said she had it handled. She always did, even when drowning.
Pause.
He misses you. Silence. Then, he didn't see me then. Why now? Next day. Via my attorney. Declining involvement. No further contact.
Clean.
Legal, non-disparagement clauses honored. But I owed zilch. Life post-Thompson felt like shedding an old skin. I threw myself into the new role at Green Horizons Ranch in Northern California, part of the West Coast's push for sustainable AG. Morning started with ocean fog rolling over vineyards. A far cry from Texas dust, but invigorating. My team respected input. Meetings were collaborative, not dictatorial. I implemented systems that echoed my old innovations but with eco-twists, like drone-monitored irrigation. Balance crept in, weekends hiking with friends, calls home without work interruptions. Jake and I navigated carefully. He stayed at Thompson initially, loyal to a fault, but tension brewed. Late-night talks revealed his growing disillusion. Dad's blind spots are glaring now. I listened, didn't push. Our marriage, strained by years of my overcommitment, began mending. We dated again, picnics under redwoods. Honest chats about dreams deferred. Word of Thompson's woes spread through industry grapevines. At a conference in Sacramento, colleagues approached. Heard you jumped ship, smart move. I nodded modestly, focusing on positives. No trash talk, that wasn't my style.
Then,
The turning point. A month in, another courier package, no logo this time. Inside, a handwritten letter from Hank. Not typed formality, but scrawled on plain paper. His shaky script betraying age and regret. Emma, I messed up bad. Pushed family blood over earned merit. Lily's mess opened my eyes, company sufferin'. But that's on me. Not a skin you back.
just sorry.
Should have seen your worth sooner. Take care.
No demands. No excuses. Raw.
I sat with it, emotions swirling like a coastal eddy. Anger lingered, but pity too. Hank, the tough rancher, admitting fault, rare as rain in the desert. Jake called soon after. He sent it, been wrestling with guilt. Lily's out. Arbitration settled quiet. No court drama. She's heading back east. Lesson learned. I exhaled.
Good.
No hard feelings.
None.
But the ranch. We're reevaluating.
That sparked something.
Not revenge's thrill, but a nudge toward healing. I replied to Hank via mail. Appreciate the words. Water under the bridge. Focus on rebuilding. Start with listening to your team. Simple. But it opened a door. Weeks later, Jake shared Hank was restructuring. Merit-based promotions. HR audits per California and Texas labor laws. They operated cross-state. No nepotism clauses added to bylaws. Subtle changes, but meaningful.
Personally, I thrived.
Promoted to exec VP at Green Horizons within 6 months, earned through results, not ties. Mentored young ops folks, emphasizing balance. Work hard, but live harder. Shared my story in team huddles, anonymized, as a cautionary tale on undervaluation. One evening, Jake showed up at my door, surprise visit. Missed you.
And
I'm out of Thompson too. He'd resigned, pursuing his passion, custom saddle making. A side hustle turned full-time. Dad understood. Said it's time I forge my path. We hugged under the porch light, tears mixing with laughter. Dinner that night, fresh seafood grill, felt like a fresh start. Talked dreams, maybe a small ranch of our own someday. Balanced.
equal.
Hank reached out months later. Tentative call. Emma. No pressure.
But
Coffee? When you're in Texas? I agreed. Met at a neutral spot, a diner in Amarillo. He looked older, humbled. You are the heart of it all. I let ego blind me. I nodded. Hurt, but taught me self-worth.
and you?
Learned family ain't just blood, it's respect earned. Rebuilding slow, but right. No grand reconciliation montage, but genuine. We parted with a handshake, Understanding forged. Lily heard she pivoted to consulting back east. Sent me a LinkedIn message. Sorry for how it went down. You deserved better. I accepted. Wished her well. No grudges, life's too short. Thompson Ranch stabilized. Hank stepped back, promoting internals based on merit. Jake's business boomed. We collaborated on eco-leather supplies. My lesson? Stand up. But with grace. Betrayal stings. But rising above builds stronger foundations. In the West's vast landscapes, there's room for forgiveness and growth. But wait, that wasn't the end. As I settled into this new chapter, an unexpected twist emerged. During a routine audit at Green Horizons, I uncovered discrepancies in a supplier chain, echoes of Lily's mishaps, but systemic. Instead of pointing fingers, I proposed a collaborative fix, workshops with vendors, transparent contracts compliant with FTC guidelines. It not only resolved the issue but strengthened partnerships, boosting our rep. Word got back to Hank. He emailed, "Proud of you." Appliance similar here. A quiet nod across miles. Jake and I remarried our vows, not legally, but symbolically, on a bluff overlooking the Pacific. To equal partners, he toasted. Life's drama taught, revenge fades, humanity endures. Communicate early, value contributions, balance kin and merit. In America's West, where horizons stretch endless, second chances abound if we choose them. Wait, that's wrapping early. Let me expand on daily reflections. In quieter moments, I drive the coastal roads, wind in my hair, pondering how one boardroom blindside reshaped everything. Grateful, not bitter. The old me sacrificed blindly, new me boundaries firm. Mentored women in AG, sharing, know your worth, don't wait for validation. Hank visited California once. We toured Green Horizons. He marveled at innovations. You built this. I smiled. We all do. Together.
No feritale bo.
But real. Growth from pain. Lessons light but lasting. As seasons shifted, California's mild winters giving way to blooming springs, I found rhythm in my role. Green Horizons wasn't just a job, it was a mission. Sustainable farming blending tech with tradition. I led initiatives on water conservation, vital in drought-prone West, ensuring compliance with EPA regs. Team-building retreats involved trail rides, echoing Texas roots but with ocean views. Balance became my mantra. Jake's saddle business took off. He set up shop in a converted barn near Monterey, crafting pieces for pro riders. Weekends, we'd collaborate, me sourcing ethical materials, him designing. Our home, a cozy cottage with vineyard vistas, buzzed with shared purpose. No more one-sided sacrifices. We communicated openly. Lessons from the past etched deep. Back in Texas, Thompson Ranch evolved. Hank, post-arbitration, settled amicably.
No l'Auschwitz per mutual agraments.
Implemented changes. He hired an external HR firm for bias training, aligning with EEOC standards. Promotions now tied to performance metrics, not lineage. Staff morale climbed. A few old colleagues messaged, "Miss you? But things are fairer now." Lily's path crossed mine indirectly. At an industry webinar on ops ethics, she presented, polished, reflective. Post-session chat, "Your exit inspired me to own mistakes." I replied, "Growth's the goal. No drama, just mutual respect." Hank's health scare, a mild heart episode, prompted deeper reflection. Jake flew back. I joined virtually. Family first, Hank admitted from his hospital bed. Post-recovery, he's semi-retired. Naming a non-relative CEO. Jake declined involvement, content with independence. Our family dynamic softened. Holiday visits to Texas involved barbecues, not business talk. Hank shared stories of his youth, hardscrabble ranching teaching resilience. Underestimated you.
Emma.
Won't repeat that. I forgave fully. We all learn. Shared laughs over pie. Bonds mending. Professionally, I authored articles for AG journals, navigating nepotism in family biz, lessons from the front lines. Anonymized, but impactful. Readers resonated. Hit home. Thanks for the wake-up. A pivotal moment. Green Horizons faced a supply crisis, vendor fraud echoing old woes. I led the response. Internal audit. Legal consult per contract laws. Collaborative resolution without litigation.
7 millions.
Earned a company-wide bonus. CEO praised. Your experience shines. Jake and I started a side venture. Workshops on work-life balance for family enterprises. Drew from our story, betrayal to redemption. Attendees left empowered. Eye-opener on communication. In quiet evenings. Stargazing from our porch.
Ide reflect.
The shock of that promotion snub? Catalyst for change. Humanized us all. Hank learned humility. Lily accountability. Jake independence. Me self-advocacy. No villains, just flawed folks navigating life's rodeo. Article of faith. Speak up kindly. Forgive freely. Grow together. One summer, Hank invited us to the ranch for a fresh start barbecue. We went. Laughter echoed under string lights. Cattle lowing in the distance. Lily attended, tentative, but welcome. Apologies exchanged over beer. To better days, Hank toasted. Driving home, Jake squeezed my hand. Proud of you.
Eminencia.
Turned hurt into healing. Me too. In the West's open spaces, room for redemption abounds. Years blurred into a tapestry of growth. At Green Horizons, I ascended to COO, overseeing expansions into Nevada and Oregon, always with legal vetting for interstate compliance. Mentored rising stars, emphasizing diversity and merit. Our family grew. A daughter, Clara, born under California suns. She toddled through vineyards, learning early about balance, playtime as vital as work. Jake Saddles gained acclaim. He exhibited at Western Expos. We co-authored a book, Ranch Roots to Renewal, Navigating Family Business Drama. Bestseller in niche circles. Royalties funded scholarships for AG students from underserved areas. Thompson Ranch thrived under new leadership. Hank fully retired, tending a small hobby farm. He volunteered at local co-ops, teaching ethics. Your influence, he told me during a visit. Lily built a career in ethical consulting, crediting our indirect mentorship. We collaborated on a panel once, harmonious, insightful. The True Close, a family reunion in Texas. Under vast skies, we shared stories. Hank, friendlier but wiser, pulled me aside. That day in the boardroom, my biggest regret. But it sparked change for all. I hugged him.
And growth.
That's the win. Clara played with cousins, oblivious to past storms. Jake and I watched. Content. Lesson light but profound. Betrayal reveals cracks. Humanity mends them. Communicate. Respect. Forgive. In America's West, where pioneers forged ahead, we do too, stronger together. Life's drama? Not end, but evolution. I rose not in spite, but because of it all.